Good morning and welcome to yet another video on this monitor barn style chicken coop. Good morning everyone. Welcome to another video on this monitor style chicken coop. I can't remember that whole line of monitors barn style chicken coop. Let me try it again. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another video of this monitor barn style chicken coop. Today, I'm hoping to finish up the framework around here. I probably won't get the door on here and on the other side, or actually on the front. That'll be another episode. But I'm going to hopefully get some paint on to just give it some depth and a feeling of what a barn looks like, and get some trim work on and all that. So let's get at it. The first thing will be, I'm going to build this down so I can get with 1/2-inch plywood so I can put the subfascia and the fascia on both sides. I'm going to do a rip to come right across flush to the top of this and the bottom. That's 5 3/4. I'm going to do the same thing up here, 5 3/4, coming across here. And I guess I have to do it down here because I want to be able to have the door fold down. So that'll be the first thing. I'll rip it on the saw. Cut it to width over on the chop saw. So the top and bottom will be 5 3/4 by 24. Very good. As Al Alumna would say, I like it and I spike it. Oh, that won't get away. And to the other side. And actually I'm back because I have to put a piece on here. This piece has to be a little bit wider. I wouldn't have minded just making it to here, just to have it bigger, but there's going to be trim here, so I have to allow for that when I do that. Wow, that's pretty snug. Now to the other side. And I've already cut the 2 pieces for this. Okay. All right, now we've got to do the same thing that I didn't do on the other side. If I put one on the other side, it was 5 3/4. That's kind of narrow. I only need enough room for 1x4 trim, which is about to here. If I do a 4-inch by 11 7/16, 4 by 11 7. I haven't plugged my air compressor in today. It's still residual air. I may become angry at some point where I'm not going to drive them. But it did. Okay, so now I've framed this opening. So that will open down for access, easy access, and even beyond. I can reach the chicken door opening. You folks have talked a lot about chicken when they're on the roost, getting poop into the nest. They've got to shoot it about a foot and a half from the roost. So if they're turned around, they could aim. Probably could still hit it. So I think I might just put a topper on this, and that will eliminate some of that. So I'll do that right now before I forget it. I set that on top, and I just put 1 screw just so that it wouldn't go anywhere. But then I was looking, and apparently their chickens are a messy breed, and it had this opening. So if a chicken sits up here and backs up and lets loose, it's going to come down in. So I made another one to fix that. And I'll just put some screws in that. We should be good. We should have protected the coop. A snug fit in here. Okay. Voila! As the French would say. Hey, does anybody from France listen to my channel? That would be interesting to know. Let me know if you do. It's ironic. I'm at a crossroads right here. It's the proverbial which came first, the chicken or the egg, which is also ironic because I'm building a chicken coop. But painting, I want to paint. I'm a little bit of a sloppy painter, even though I try not to. And so we're going to have roof wrap and shingles. And then I've bent out on the metal brake this flashing that has to go on above the shingles, which is fine so far. That's not a problem. But then we're going to get fascia on here that's going to be white. And if I paint it ahead, that's okay. But then I'm also going to have wall sheathing that's going to be red. And over here I'm going to have the polycarbonate. So there's a lot of steps if you break it out and if you paint everything and then put it on, paint it ahead and put it on. I'm going to sit down and have a sip of coffee, figure this out. Sorry for the delay. Well, Kaya and I had a lengthy discussion and we decided, you know, if you just don't do anything, you'll never get it done. So I'm going to forge ahead. I'm going to paint the body red. And I'll paint these, it'll be 4 sections. I'll paint those a little bit later. So the next challenge is Kaya. She can't be out because she's too inquisitive, and I'm pretty sure she'll be covered in red paint by the time I'm done. So we need. All right, and in you go. She knows. She doesn't know. She knows this trick. What do you think, Kaya? Okay, come on. Good girl. She is a great dog. Okay, she won't like it, but anyway. Okay, red paint. Here we go. And here he goes. Ta-da! So I checked all over. Nobody seems to sell barn red paint. You have to figure out a color shade. Probably because there's so many shades of barn red. Whoa. Told you I was sloppy. Oh dear. This is all going to be covered with trim, so it doesn't have to be beautiful up to the edges. I'll get it as good as I can. Ta-da! We got it. First coat. I will put a second coat on that. I have to put on nailers all the way across here and up here to receive the wall sheathing and the polycarbonate. So, let's see if I got two different lengths. And second coat. Doesn't take as much paint, the second coat. I do have a method now. I've got it all started to get figured out. I'm going to take all of the subfascia. The subfascia is already on here, and it's painted white underneath. So I'm going to do the same. I have some miscellaneous pieces over there. I'll just paint the bottom part because it's going to have fascia covering the outside all the way around. Ooh, that's a lot of paint on there. Look how long it takes to paint that. I'm sure Kaya would really like to help. All right, let this dry maybe an hour, and then I can cut that and nail it on. This is just too much fun. So as I'm building this, I'll have a video come out from prior of how far I've gotten, and I read your comments, and that is so much fun just getting your input. Kaya, hold on. So I did put a screen mesh on here. Hardware cloth is a good idea. I'm going to do that. Before I close up these ends, I'll put something on to protect that more from larger critters. A coyote won't be able to get in here, or a wolf. A fox might be able to. Raccoons would be able to. So I'll put something up heavier over that to protect it before I close in these sides. So I like that idea. Another thing, I'm using up pine that I've had for years that have had a defect of, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get closer. You can see it has some wood that's been chipped off of it. So I'm going to be using 1x4. This is 1x6. So I'll rip it down and that will be gone. So I'll be able to utilize at least some of that board. Got a hole in it. And so I have a lot of this. So I'll take a little time reworking this wood. I have a lot of 1x6 like this. It just comes from the job in years past. So I have a bunch of it out in the overhang. And so I'm going to manufacture this. I'll rough cut it to length for fascia, as you can see, and I'll pick the best side. That'll work good for trimming out this coop. Also, it looks like so far the comments for board and batten or not, it's been about 10 to 1. People wanting the battens. I think it'll look nice. I know it's going to make a lot more work, but hey, I'm semi-retired, so why not, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut some of these and get these ready to paint. I have the saw set up to rip 1x4 out of this 1x6. So I'll be taking 2 inches off. I think I'm going to use that as the corner boards because I think the scale looks a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to do. just to get an idea of scale. I can't hold all the pieces up here, but this will be the fascia. And I'll just pull. So if that's 1x4, just to try to get an idea of the scale. And this is 1x2. I think I really like that a lot more. There may be some of you carpenter folk out there that are saying, when you do corners, there's usually a piece on each side, and you can see the unevenness. This side is actually bigger by 3/4 of an inch than this side. This is 2 3/4, this is 2. So I'm going to rip 3/4 of an inch off for one side. And now for the subfascia. White paint underneath is pretty dry. We know this angle is 31.6 degrees, so I'll go over on the chop saw and cut that so that we have a nice straight line there. Also even that off right there. I've cut this angle as well as this angle. I want it to come flush to the plywood because we'll be having a corner strip coming up here. There's a lot of things that happen right here, so I have to plan this all ahead. But I like that, and then we'll be able to bring that trim down and come into that. So I'll nail this. And same thing over here, 31.6 degrees. The only reason I use 31.6 is it's a preset on my saw, and I like that roof angle look. Nice. I cut both of these since they're meeting at the top. I wanted to make sure it was right on before I nailed them. That's good there. Perfect. And now we'll do the back, and that should be good. Undoubtedly, one of the most exciting parts of making it look good is the trim. It just like makes it pop. All right. Here. Yeah. I just rough cut a piece, and I'll set it up here. I'm making the pine flush to the bottom of the soffit, or the fascia, subfascia. So you can see it sticks down below the plywood a little bit, but I'm putting drip edge on out over that so it'll make it look pretty. So I have it sitting here. I'll just do, I know that angle is 31.6 degrees, and I'll just scribe this. That easy. So I'll make that cut, and then I'll square it off along the bottom to trim this out, and that cut. Now there's just that little bit that's going to be square cut, so I put this back at 0 and come up against the fence like that. And there it is. And this side, that was my mark that I made. Well, let's see if it works here. So I want this point to meet that point. Good, good. That looks very good. Did I just move that? Don't you be moving around on me. Come on. I will put another coat of paint over that, all of that to dress it off. I might throw some on that right now. You like that? Throw some paint on it. Okay. All right, we'll do the other end. Perfect. All right. And now the trim on the upper roof section. Quite often when I'm nailing trim on over sub fascia, I know that the rafters are right here. So I know the sub fascia has nails right in this area. So I usually try to go off to one side or the other, and I try to make it consistently. For instance, I'm going on the right side, so you don't hit the head of the other nail and bend it, and then it's ugly. I really like how this trim is just making it really look pretty. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I hit a nail. I knew it. I tried and missed those. I already trimmed the back, so I just have this piece and this piece. Then I'll do some touch-up paint and let that dry. Eins, zwei, dry. I like it. Now I'll just paint all the way around that second coat. I'll close out this video with a couple of things. One, the vent. This is just like a window screen mesh. So I have a vent with a metal screen on the back that's going to go right on there on each end, just like that. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I guess I'm going to go with polycarbonate all three bays, both sides, to let more light in. Some of you folks had some good ideas about that, letting more light into the coupe inside. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. I don't know if I can finish it up in one more video. It seems like it's taking almost as long to build this as it does a garage. Not quite, but this has just been fun. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Hey, leave a comment. I love that. I'm ready to rip the 1x6 so that it's... Kaya! What are you doing? She's playing with my...